The strong, metal, bitter smell of something new woke me up, and my neck felt light, making my heart sink. The mirror showed the truth. My long, cared-for brown hair was badly cut in messy bits. At first I thought someone had robbed me in my own bed, but then I saw them my mom's craft scissors sitting neatly on my dresser, next to a sticky note that felt like a punch. "You'll still look good. Think about your speech for Hannah's big day." I stood still, pieces of my hair still on my pillow like a part of me had died while I slept. That wedding was my only chance to stand in front of people who had ignored me for years, to finally wear the blue silk dress I bought with my own money, and to speak with real belief. Instead, I looked like I lost a bet when I went into the kitchen. My dad barely looked up from his cereal. "Oh good, you're up," he said. "Less hair makes your face look less noticeable anyway. The attention isn't supposed to be on you." My mom, drinking her coffee, added, "It's Hannah's wedding. Let her shine, let her shine." They talked as if I was some big problem, as if just me being there in a nice dress would somehow ruin the whole event. Let me be clear, I was the daughter they always tried to control, never the one they praised. Hannah got fancy dresses and violin lessons. I got old clothes and talks about being thankful. Hannah's graduation trip was to Paris. I was told to work weekends to save for college, which I did. I moved out at 19, working 2 jobs, but still said yes to the wedding. I held on to the small hope that, just maybe, this could be one of those rare family times without fighting. Instead, they put sleeping medicine in my tea, then cut my hair while I slept. My own parents, my roommate, Becca, came over in a rush after my shaky call. She gasped when she saw me. "They did this to you on purpose." I nodded. Becca was quiet for a moment, then took out her phone. "Okay, we're not going to the wedding like this. We're going to do something better." At first, I didn't want to get back at them just to be far away. But when Becca helped me record a voice note, something I never thought I'd share everything changed. My dad saying that pretty girls ruin weddings with jealousy? At the time, I thought they were just mean jokes. But listening back with Becca, it became something darker, a clear pattern. Then Becca said, "You know, there's a way to make them listen." That night, I made a choice. I would go to the wedding, but not how they thought. I wouldn't wear the dress they made fun of. I wouldn't give the speech they wrote for Hannah. I would rip up their script, and that would be just the start. I hardly slept. Becca carefully made my cut hair even, turning it into a smooth, sharp bob. By morning, my plan was ready. I got to the big vineyard place, the chosen spot, early, before the usual mess. Hannah's dream wedding was paid for by my parents' savings, my mom's fake smiles, and my dad's strong pride in his real daughter. I was just a small part, but not today. I had practiced the plain, sweet speech about sisters and endless ties that they expected. Instead, at the practice lunch, when everyone was happy and proud, I went to the microphone. "Hi everyone," I started. "I know I'm not the favorite daughter. That's never been a secret. But I'm here to say something different today." The air changed. You could feel it. My mom's smile shook. "I want to talk about what happens behind the family pictures. When people say they love you, but literally cut you down to stop you from being better than someone else. When they put medicine in your tea so you sleep through their bad acts. When parents treat you being alive as a threat to the child they truly love." Gasps went through the room. An uncle dropped his fork. My dad stood up yelling, "Enough," but I didn't stop. "You don't get to change who I am anymore. You don't get to cut me down, hide me, or pretend this didn't happen." I took out my phone and played the recording. My mom's voice clear and cold. "She thinks she'll look better than Hannah. We'll fix that." Then my dad's chilling laugh. "We'll cut it while she sleeps. Girls like her need reminders." The quiet was so loud. Forks fell onto plates. Guests turned to each other, fear on their faces. I finished. "You taught me shame. Now I'm teaching you what happens." My sister was crying. Not about me, but saying this will ruin my photos. But it wasn't over. Within a day, the video put online by Becca with the words, "This is what happens when you use family as a weapon," became very popular. Millions of views. Famous people shared it. TikTokers acted it out. My direct messages were full of notes from strangers. "Thank you for saying what I never could." The best part? A week later, an email from a wedding magazine editor came. How would you feel about a photo shoot?" An article called "The Uninvited Sister Who Took the Show." I said yes. The photo shoot was everything my parents had tried to take. Fancy, strong, truly me. They did my makeup, styled my new hair, and put me in dresses that shined brighter than shame. That was the start of the second part of my life. 3 months passed. My family still hadn't reached out. No apologies, no reasons. But they didn't need to. The world was already looking at them. My video had become a big moment. Talk shows talked about it. Bloggers looked at every word. Special treatment for pretty people? Sister fights, bad emotional behavior, hidden as old ways. I was now the face of every daughter, silenced for a brighter sister. But I wasn't looking for fame. I wanted to be free. Head of a fancy fashion brand, known for fixing bad names by telling the truth. Her daughter had gone through something similar. Cynthia offered me a job, not just as a model, but as the creative boss for a new project. You can't cut power. Photo shoots, press trips, TEDx talk. Requests I turned my pain into a goal. Meanwhile, what happened back home was easy to guess. Their neighborhood became cold. Wedding guests who had cheered for Hannah now looked away in grocery stores. The priest who led her wedding told his church that Hannah should have been the one asking for forgiveness, not approval. Even Hannah's new husband, Greg, who had stayed quiet during the haircutting problem, left 6 weeks after the wedding. It seems he found a box of printed Instagram comments his new wife had written from fake accounts, attacking me online. She wasn't just involved. She was obsessed. And now, alone, I wish I could say that made me feel better. But the truth is, I didn't care anymore. I was too busy building something they could never spoil. The real payback came when Cynthia made me an offer. We're opening our first creative office in your hometown. Want to run it? I laughed. You're serious? She nodded. Same town, but this time you're the one people want to make happy. So, this time it had a big window sticker that said, "Power cannot be cut." The week we started, my team had an open house. Local news came. Activists, people who had been through bad things. And yes, even a few of my old high school classmates who used to make fun of how quiet I was showed up asking for internships. But the best part? My parents walked in, not asked, not announced. My mom wore big sunglasses. My dad had clearly gotten older in those months. Maybe it was guilt, maybe being seen, or maybe just losing control. They didn't know the woman standing at the front.com/strong, ready for cameras. They tried to act like nothing had happened. We're proud of you, my mom said softly. I smiled. That's funny. You haven't been proud of me since I had braces. My dad chuckled, trying to make the mood lighter. We all make mistakes. Families get better, right? I walked over to the front desk. Would you like to leave a comment card? We take what people say seriously here. They blinked. Otherwise, I went on. I have a full room of people I truly look up to waiting to hear me speak. As I turned away, I saw them standing there out of place, not comfortable in the very spot they once thought I wasn't good enough for. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to shame them. The building, the people, the good things happening, that was louder than any insult. But just as they walked out the glass doors, I called after them. By the way, next time you try to cut down a daughter to lift up another, just remember, scissors get dull, but some girls get sharper. They never came back, and I never needed them to, because I had finally learned. They didn't decide my beauty. They didn't decide my power. And they never ever had the right to decide what I was worth. Not with scissors. Not by being quiet. Not ever again.